यस्यान्तन्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं विपानं परिशिष्टान्ते वसदशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवादिराशेर्यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चित्ताभिहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि राकाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदनानाकाधिराजस्तुता मूकानामपि कुर्वती सुरधुनी नीकाशवाग्वैभवम् श्रीकाञ्चीनगरी बिहाररसिका शोकापहन्त्री सताम् एका पुण्यपरम्परा पशुपतेराकारिणी राजते योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरं मातामहौ मातरं च पितरं च पितामहौ मातुलं च गुरून् सर्वान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये पीताम्बरं करविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायमतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं पातालयेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव। The experience of devotion, ethereal. A simple asking from the Lord. When we go to a temple, we request something from Him, we pray for something. That is a lower level of bhakti. Where we want something, we say, we will do this, Lord, if you can give me something, then I will do this for you. Or please, I am in a very bad condition, so you help me out with this. Or I desire something, therefore grant me this. This is how most of the populace is, those who believe in God. But the way devotion is practiced by jnanis, by those who are bhaktas of the highest order, is something of a very different plane. It is called as prema bhakti. This emotion of prema, it cannot be just called an emotion also. It is of a different plane altogether. Where you love that deity immensely, without any conditions, without any limits. There is nothing that can come in the way of that love. That is the kind of devotion which Bhattatri is trying to put forth here in these Dashakams, and which he is praying for, which he is requesting the Lord, please give me that kind of a bhakti towards you. There is a saying that Janardana might even grant mukti, but he will not grant bhakti. He might grant liberation, but he might not grant this kind of devotion, which is completely unconditional. Here in the 8th verse of Dashakam 94, यो यावान्यादृशो वा त्वमिति किमपि नैवावगच्छामि भूमन् एवं चानन्यभावः त्वदनुभजनमेवाद्रिये चैत्यवैरिन् त्वल्लिङ्गानां त्वदङ्घ्रिप्रियजनसदसां दर्शनस्पर्शनादिः भूयान्मे त्वत्प्रपूजा नतिनुति गुणकर्मानुकीर्त्यादरोऽपि यो यावान् यादृशो वा. So there are a lot of descriptions of Bhagavan or of the supreme consciousness bliss. Bhattatri is saying, I do not know all that. You are infinite. Oh Bhuman. Bhuman means one who is just infinite in all manners. One who is beyond the ken of space or time. So we cannot even say he is omnipresent or eternal. Those give a sense of feeling of time or space. He is beyond all that. He is the cause for all that. So Bhuman, I cannot describe you. Yo yavane yadrushova, that you are like this, or give you adjectives. All this is not possible by me. I have no knowledge to do that kind of a description. Whether it be your form, your glories, or your actions. I do not know any of that. I do not understand any of that. But Ananya Bhakti, that is what I want. Ananya Bhavaha Tvadanubhajanameva Adriye. But I want the devotion to you which does not go anywhere else, which does not move out of that place. Oh, foe of Shishupala, Chaityavairin he calls. You are the person who granted moksha to even your enemy. Even someone like Shishupala who kept on insulting you, you granted mukti to him. I am one of your devotees. Make me even more devoted to you. And liberate me. Because I am Ananya Bhavaha Adriye. I want to take shelter in that bhava which is not anything other than you. Give me that kind of an experience. What else? Tvallinganam twadangri priyajana sadasam darshanasparshanadihi. Not only that, I want to be able to touch your vigraha, your deity which is there. And twadangri priyajana sadasam. So those who are loved by you, those who love your feet, Angri Priya Jana, I want to be in their contact. I want to be in satsanga always. Extremely important. To have that experience of bhakti, to always stay in that mood, to have a connection with Bhagavan, we need a set of people. We need a group who think like us, who help us towards that path. You need a guru who takes you across and to always keep you in that state. At the beginning, you need a lot of satsanga. In any action in the world we see, whoever you are with, that is the kind of motivation that you get. If you are roaming around with people who always talk about science and technology, you always have that running in your mind. So you are able to progress in that field. If you're always in politics or something like that, you are able to progress in that field. So wherever you want progress, you have to surround yourself by that kind of people who have the same kind of mentality. And when the singular goal is to attain Bhagavan, there also we need a set of people who have given their life for God and God only. So Vivekananda also says in one place, even if there are a few men who can live for God and God only, then the whole world will be a great place. We have to have contact with such people so that we slowly move out of this material distress that we are inside. And we always have a contact with that infinite one. Twadangri priyajana sadasam darshanasparshanaadihi bhuyanme tvad prapuja natinuti guna karmanu kirtyadaropi. Not only that, here he kind of mentions all the Navavidha bhaktis that Prahlada had made a mention of, that in the Narasimhavatara, while Prahlada is speaking, there the Navavidha bhaktis are not explicitly mentioned by Bhattatri. Here he brings in some of them. Prapuja nati nuti guna karmanu kirtyadaropi shravanam kirtanam vishtoho smaranam padasevanam archanam vandanam dasyam sakhyam atmani vedanam. So these 9 kinds of bhaktis that are there, he makes a mention of it here. Whether it's listening to the glories of Bhagavan, or singing about his praises, or thinking about them, just meditating upon them, or doing archana to him, offering flowers, prostrating unto him, or being a servant unto him, and just completely surrendering ourselves to him. These are the 9 kinds of bhaktis. Let me have dedication in all these kinds, whichever suits me at whatever time. Let me have this. So give me this kind of bhakti is what he is praying. Yadyallabhyeta tat tavasamupahritam devadasosmi teham tvadgehonmarjanatyam bhavatu mama muhu karma nirmayameva. So the previous verse he said, I do not know your glories. Therefore, I just completely surrender myself to you. You take care of whatever it is. So there are 2 kinds of nyayas in this Bhakti Marga. It is called the Markata Kishora Nyaya and Marjara Kishora Nyaya. Markata means a monkey and Marjara means a cat. Kishora is a young kid or an infant. A monkey infant, if you see the mother monkey jumps. The infant monkey has to catch hold of her very tightly whenever she is moving. She jumps from one tree to another. She goes in search of everything. But the infant has to catch hold of her tightly. The infant should not leave her. If the infant lets go of its clutch, it might fall down. The mother monkey is not holding it. So it is the responsibility of the infant to be catching hold of the mother. That is called the Markata Kishora Nyaya. The Marjara, the cat, is the other way. The kitten, when it is born for a few weeks, it will not do anything. Wherever it is put, it will just stay there. The mother cat has to come and pick it up. If it has to change the place, it comes and picks each kitten one by one. If you have seen, it will pick it up with its mouth, it will go drop it somewhere else. Usually in a litter, there are 5-6 kittens. All these one by one, it will pick up and go somewhere. These kittens will never follow it by themselves. So they have no responsibility, whether it is food or protection or going from anywhere to anywhere. They don't do anything. I am completely surrendered to the mother. So the mother has to take care of everything that is. Similarly, at the beginning of bhakti, we are the one, we think that we will have to hold on to Bhagavan completely. And that is how it has to be done. You have to hold on to the deity, your Ishta Devata. You have to hold on to the Nama, you have to hold on to the mantra, the japa, and do it with all your effort, like the Markata, like the infant monkey. Then as you progress, you will start completely surrendering yourself. And then at the end, the status that you have to attain is a complete surrender where Bhagavan takes care of everything that is necessary for you. Whatever is necessary, Bhagavan will take care. You do not have to do anything at all. But it is a progression from this to that. Bhattatri is asking, let me become like that. Tavasamupahritam deva dasospiteham. Whatever I get, I will give it to you, O Bhagavan. I am your servant. What will I do? Twadgeha unmarjanadyam. If I come to a temple like this, he's sitting in Guruvayur temple and he's saying, I would like to sweep the temple without any intention, without any expectation, not being employed by the temple authorities or the trust to sweep the temple. I will go to the temple and I will offer my service voluntarily. Why do I do it? For Bhagavan. Nirmayameva. Without any other desire in my mind, I will do that. With full sincerity, I want to do that. That is the kind of way I want to, my physical, mental, emotional being, everything has to be towards you. Let me have that kind of an emotion bubbling within inside me. Suryagni brahmanatmadishu lasita chaturbahu maradhaye tvam Tvatpremardrattvarupo mama satatam abhishyandatam bhakti yoga. So let this bhakti yoga, let it flow inside me in torrents. Abhishyandatam. It should just engulf me. Like a spring with a lot of water gushing out, it should be gushing from inside me. The bhakti yoga, abhishyandatam. Always satatam abhishyandatam. Without a moment's break, let it be gushing like that. How is it? It is of the form of melting my heart. Tvat prema ardratva rupaha. Whenever we love someone, it melts our heart. It is a very tender feeling. The emotion is indescribable. Let me have that kind of an indescribable love towards you. How should it manifest itself? How should the love manifest itself? Whoever I see, I should be able to see the form of the Lord. Surya, Agni, Brahmana, Atmadishu. Whether it is Surya, the sun rising, wherever the sun is, or it is Agni, or it is Brahmana, everywhere I want to see the same Lord. My Ishta Devata, who is my Ishta Devata? Lasita Chaturbahum, with 4 hands. O Mahavishnu, I want to see you. Aradhayetva. By mentioning these 3 Devatas, see, Surya Devata is the Devata for Nitya Karma. Whatever Nitya Karma is assigned to whatever Adhikari you are, Surya is always the Upasya Devata. Because Surya is a Pratyaksha Devata. He is seen before our very eyes. So Sandhya Vandana is that for all Varnas. Surya is the Upasya Devata everywhere. We give the Arghya to Surya. The mantra is towards Surya. So I will not let go of those karmas. The Vedic karmas will still be there. In Bhakti Yoga, it does not mean you just give up everything. Voluntarily, nothing is given up. Because of if you are a Paramahamsa sannyasi. But voluntarily, we do not give up the Vedic karmas. That's why he says Surya, Agni, and everybody keeps on Agni. Agni is the second Upasya Devata, which is the Pratyaksha Devata. Surya is naturally there. Agni, we have to put some effort to get that Agni. Though naturally we see it in some places, But if you want to do an upasana of Agni, you can get it, but you have to put some effort. Agni. And everybody had Agni upasana also. There was always Agni at home. Whether it is Agnihotra, upasana, Agni Karya, whatever kind of upasana. That kind of upasana also I will still keep doing all the Vedic karmas. Or it might be a yaga, homa. We still do all these things on special occasions. So in that Agni also I will see only you. Whatever offering I make there is towards you, O four-armed Krishna. Because I cannot see anything other than you. Surya, Agni, Brahmanatma, Dishu. When we do a Shraddha, whether it is Nitya Karma, Naimitya Karma, second. So Nitya Karma was for Surya. Naimitya Karma, any special occasions we do a karma, it is towards Agni. Then it is Pitra Karma. When we give the offerings to our forefathers and Pitras, we call Brahmanas and give them Bhojana. At that time, who do I see? I see Bhagavan, I see yourself. I see that four-armed Krishna in them. They are not mere mortals at that time, because that is my bhavana. And everywhere else I see only you, O Bhagavan. Nobody else I see. If I am able to see like that, that is Bhakti Yoga. Abhishyandatam Bhakti Yoga. We see Jnanadev's story, the Marathi saint Jnanadev. He had such a vision. Everywhere he could see Bhagavan. That is why when he went to an assembly of Brahmins, you know, in their story, they were those four children, Jnanadev and his three siblings, were not accepted within the society. And so for the Prayaschitta, they had to go to an assembly of Brahmins. Brahmanas, they told them there is no expiation for the sin that your father has committed. There was a bull that was standing. Jnanadev looks at the bull and the bull starts chanting Vedas. Because the drishti of Jnanadeva sees Bhagavan everywhere. There is no difference between a Brahmana or a Go. Whether it is a bull or a Brahmana, there is no difference in his eyes. Same thing with Prahlada. Whether it was Hiranyakashipu or Narada, Prahlada had no difference. He saw Bhagavan everywhere. That is why he could be fearless in front of Hiranyakashipu. Because he saw Bhagavan in Hiranyakashipu. Everybody else was quaking, trembling in front of Hiranyakashipu. Prahlada fearlessly he says, who is your balam me vaikuntaha tavacha jagatam chabisa balam. My strength is Vaikuntha. My strength is Bhagavan, Vishnu. And even your strength is Bhagavan, Vishnu. Not only yours and mine, all three worlds is Mahavishnu only. That is the darshana you have when that immense bhakti is there within you. Abhishyandadam bhakti yogaha aikyante dana homa brata japa brata niyama tapas sankhya yogair durapam Transcending Gopyaha Kila Sukritita Prapurananda Sandram. Becoming one with you, Aikyante. That is the goal here, that is the aim here. But it does not happen just by charity, dana, or by homa, by doing some kind of sacrifice, or vrata, doing some very disciplined austerities, vrata niyama, tapaha, some penance, sankhya yoga, using the sankhya yoga, or sankhya or yoga, the ashtanga yoga marga, very difficult to attain by all these margas. Yes, because all of them do not contain bhakti. But Transcending Gopyaha, just by being with you, all the gopis, they did not know any of this. They did not know dana or homa or vrata or tapas or sankhya or yoga. They did not take any of these routes. They just had your companionship. Sangenaiva gopyaha kalusu. What punya have they done? You see, they have all done punya. They got the companionship of the Lord because they have done the previous set in the previous janmas. They have done so much punya. They have undergone a lot of penance. We hear in many Puranas that all these gopis were Maharishis during Ramayana. In the Aranyakanda, we come across so many tapasvis. All of them have taken birth again as gopis to attain the jnana. So they have all done immense tapas for Bhagavan. So he is not saying that the previous line, whatever was there, Dana, Homa, Brata, all those need to be mixed with bhakti. When they have that bhakti, the goal is very clear. You know that you want to attain Bhagavan through these. And all of them become a marga towards bhakti. Bhakti is not a separate marga. Whatever action you do, it is for Bhagavan. Bhagavan impels all your actions. And everything that you do is a worship of Bhagavan. Bhagavan never goes out of your mind. He's always at the background. When a mother who is taking care of her child, she is doing all the household chores. The child is always in the background. She never forgets about the child. The child might be playing there, but if it suddenly goes out of her sight, she will go and catch hold of the child. If the child does something naughty, or it is going to endanger itself in some manner, she will go and protect it. So it is always there. There is one eye on the child. It never goes out. Similarly with bhakti, whatever we do, it is always a worship for Bhagavan. Bhagavan never goes out of the mind at all. He is always there. In the mind itself. And the more and more we bring him to the foreground, then it becomes bhakti yoga abhishyantata, becomes gushing inside. When a lover is pining for the lover, they never think of anything else. It is a constant yearning. The yearning can be finished only when they become one. As long as there are two, there is always yearning. It does not feel, the complete satisfaction just does not come. So we are all yearning to become one with Bhagavan. Aikyamte. That yearning, in Vedanta, there is a Vedanta Sara book, there is a line which says, the yearning for Bhagavan, yearning for this jnana, is like when one has his hair on fire. The hair on the head has caught fire somehow. And he rushes in search of water. He will not say, okay, it is only caught fire here, let me wait for some time. Let me have this thing to eat and then go. Let me watch this, something coming on TV and then go. Somebody is going to come to meet me, let me meet them and then go. No. You immediately rush in search of water, your head is on fire. That is the kind of yearning we need for Bhagavan. That is the kind of pining that should be there in the heart. And when that kind of bhakti is there, even the yearning and even the separation is far more blissful than the sukha of this world. Whatever happiness, joy we are able to get from the external objects in this world is all limited. Even the pining for Bhagavan, even the separation and kind of dukkha that we have when we pine for Bhagavan is far more blissful than any bliss in the world. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to weep. He says, in the world, people cry for so many things. They weep. They put in so much effort for everything that they want to attain in this world. But I don't find people weeping for God. If they would weep, if they would put in the same effort here, they would easily get the vision of Devi, get the Lord himself. But there is no person for that. That is what we are praying for. That is the kind of devotion we are praying for. And the Gopis got that because of your companionship. Prapuhu Ananda Sandram. Again, Sandrananda. That aspect of bliss is bhakti. In the Satchidananda Swarupa, bhakti concentrates on this bliss aspect, the Ananda aspect. Everything, whatever Ananda we have in this world is like a drop out of that Ananda. We want the ocean itself. And you are no different from the ocean. Realize that you are the ocean. Prapuhu Ananda Sandram. That dense, brick-like bliss is what they are experiencing. Bhakteshvanyeshu bhuyasvapi bahumanushe bhakti me vatvamasam tanme tvad bhakti ve vadradhaya haragadane Krishna vatalayesha. Even though Bhagavan, you have so many other devotees, innumerable devotees you have, even then, the devotion of the Gopis is what you held in high esteem. You had a special love for them because they had completely surrendered unto you. See, Bhagavata itself is to show that extreme devotion of Gopis. We saw it all through the Rasa Panchaka and before that. It is a different plane of bhakti that the Gopis were in. We cannot even think that they were just in this material plane playing on the banks of Yamuna. That is to get a certain understanding and so that we have an emotional attachment there and we are able to grow our bhakti. But they were probably in a different plane altogether. That divine love that they experienced, they literally became one with Bhagavan. That is why they have such pangs of separation, which, as I said, is far more blissful than any joy in this world. That's why their devotion was held in such high esteem by Bhagavan himself. So, Krishna Vatalayesha, O Lord of Guruvayur, give me also that kind of bhakti. I know I have some amount of bhakti. That is why I am talking about you. I am praying to you. But let my bhakti also become like them. Dradhaya. Strengthen my devotion. Make it strong. And eradicate all these ailments that I have. Praise Bhaktapada at Guruvayurappan. And we move on to Dashakam 95. Ado Hairanyagarbhim Tanumavikala Jivatmikamaasthitastvam Jivatvam Prapya Maya Gunagana Khachito Vartase Vishwayone Tatrodvruddhena Sattvena Tu Gunayugalam Bhakti Bhavam Gatena Chitva Sattvam Chahitva Pudararubahito Vartita Hetvameva. So in Vedanta, there is a particular prakriya of the way creation came about. In any basic Vedanta text, if you take, there will be an explanation of how this world came into creation, especially in Advaita Vedanta, which is what Bhattatri is delineating in this verse. Adau Hairanyagarbhim. So we are all Jivatmas. And we all feel like we are all separate entities. We have our separate egos. This is called as Vyashti. Vyashti means separate. Simple. So I feel that I am separate from you and we are able to speak to each other. We are able to communicate. Putting all these things, all the Jivatmas together, there is one single huge conscious entity. That is called as the Hiranyagarbha. So in the beginning there was the Hiranyagarbha, ado Hiranyagarbhim tanu avikala jivatmikam. Avikala means without any separation. Asthitasthvam. So you projected yourself as that Hiranyagarbha, as the Hiranyagarbha jivatma, which was the samashti. Samashti means putting all together in one single entity. And then it itself reflected into multiple jivatmas that we all are. Jivatvam prapya maya gunagana khachitaha. How did it become so many multiple innumerable jivas? Because of maya. Because of that illusory shakti of Bhagavan, gunagana khachitaha, and all the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, which are within maya. Vartase Vishwayone. Oh Vishwayoni. Oh, the cause of all creation. You are the cause for everything. You are in all of these forms in front of me. Whichever form it is, in countless jivas are all your form. You have taken this kind of form. It's like a reflection. There is one singular sun that is there, but it reflects itself in so many various pots of water. Each pot of water seems like a different sun. If you look into it, there is a sun within each pot of water, but there is only a singular sun. Like that, we see countless number of jivas. All that is because of that maya and gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Even among that, tatra udvruddhena sattvena tu guna yugalam bhakti bhavam gatena. Then this sattva guna is able to subjugate the other two gunas, the rajas and tamo guna, and it is able to overpower them and stand. That is when this bhakti bhava arises. That is when the contact with Bhagavan arises. Bhakti bhavam gatena chitva sattvam chahitva punaranupahito vartita hetvaveva. Once the sattva comes, when the sattva becomes well developed, at the end, sattva cuts rajas and tamas. Then we go beyond the sattva guna also. There is no sattva guna also free from all the gunas, beyond all the gunas. And I become one with you. This is the person Bhagavan calls as Gunatita in Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter. He talks about Gunatita, one who is beyond the three gunas. First, the Sattva Guna arises, it gives you all the good qualities, gives you bhakti towards Bhagavan, most importantly. And then ultimately, even Sattva Guna is removed. And you realize that single oneness with Bhagavan. And everything becomes a form of a Swarupa of Bhagavan, as we saw in Asita Chaturubha Kumaradhaye. There is no separate entity to be. All the adjuncts, as we call this mind that we have, the ego that we have, where we think I am the person who is doing this. I am the bhakta, I have devotion towards Bhagavan. Even that bhava recedes. All becomes oneness. There is no separate entity at all. It all dissolves into a singular being. And that is called mukti. Vartita he tvameva. Only you exist. I don't exist. This ego does not exist. This mind does not exist. This intellect is not there. Only you exist, O Bhagavan, in that status. Let me become like that. Sattvonmeshat kadachit khalu vishayarase doshabodhe vibhuman bhuyopyesha pravrittihi satamasi rajasi rodhate durnivara. When that sattva guna predominates, it happens to all of us when we are in some nice thing. Sattva guna predominates. We have that bhakti towards Bhagavan. We feel all this is temporary. Whatever there is there in the world, all these objects of worldly enjoyment are all temporary, are all transient. They don't give the complete bliss or satisfaction. We all realize it. That is sattva unmesha. Unmesha means predominance. And then we find the dosha, the problems with all these worldly objects we understand. But for a normal jana, the rajas and tamas come back again. Sometimes we realize this. Most of the time we are within rajas and tamas. Bhuyopyesha pravrittihi sa tamasi rajasi. Again, this pravritti, this action and going into the world and getting attracted and attached, all of these begins again. And it is almost impossible to remove that for a sadhaka. Rodhate durnivara. Because very difficult to remove them. I know that when the sattva guna in me is high, I myself realize that all these are temporary. There is a dosha buddhi in each of them. I know that all of these are harmful, but at the same time, it's later the rajas and tamo guna take over, and I again indulge in all these. It is extremely difficult for me to remove my mind from this. How do I control my mind in such situations? Chittam tavad gunascha grathitamiha mithastani sarva nirodhum turye tvaye ka bhaktihi sharanamiti bhavane hamsarupinyagadeet. So, to control the mind in such situations also, when it gets attracted towards worldly enjoyments, is again bhakti towards you. Whatever is attraction towards the world, let me try to turn that same kind of attraction towards you. Whatever I want to attain, desire in this world, whenever, if at all I get them, let me give it back to you again. Tvayarpaye. Whatever I get it, I will give it to you again. That is how I will control the mind slowly, slowly. And in that path of devotion, you will help me control the mind. Let me always have my mind in that path of devotion only. And that will lead me to the Turiya Sthiti, he says. The Turiya in the Upanishads, Turiya literally means fourth. We have the three states of waking, dreaming, and sleeping. The fourth state is not something other than these three. Turiya is a kind of a misnomer. It is something that is there during all the states. Whatever you are, that is your swarupa, your nature. When we create various ornaments from gold, we create a necklace, we create a ring, we create a nose ring, a earring. We give various names to that. And we have various uses for each of them. And we transact with all of them. But all of them are gold and nothing other than gold. You cannot say there is a necklace, there is a ring, there is a nose ring, and then there is a fourth thing called a gold. No. Those three are gold themselves. You cannot even show a necklace separate from gold. If you have to think of a necklace, you have to think of gold along with it. If you think of a ring, there is gold along with it. You cannot ask someone to show a ring without any gold. This Turiya Sthiti is not some fourth state. It is what is there during waking, during dreaming, during sleeping. It is the only reality that is there. Just like gold is the only reality, all the other three names and forms are something we have assumed there in the gold. But gold is the only reality. Similarly, Turiya is the Swarupa. So that Swarupa, let me realize. Turyeva, Turyetva Eka Bhakti. There is only Eka Bhakti. There is not even bhakti of the second kind. There is only one bhakti. Because only bhakti is there, that is the Swarupa of Bhagavan. That prema bhakti. Because he said there is only Tvameva, Vartitahe Tvameva. You are the only one that is there. So there can be only Eka Bhakti, Sharanamiti Bhavan. So this is what you, in the form of a Hamsa, O Bhagavan, when you had taken the form of a Hamsa, you gave such an Upadesha to Sanaka and other sages. There is the Hamsa Gita in Bhagavata. That is the condensation. Again, Hamsa Gita was also told, Krishna quotes the Hamsa Gita while giving Upadesha to Uddhava. That is, from that, Bhattatri is condensing and giving us this. So let me have that kind of a bhakti towards you. Santi shreyamsi bhuyamsi api ruchibhidaya karminam nirmitani shudranandascha santa bahuvidhagatayah krishtatebhyo bhaveyuh tvancha chakhyatha sakhyena nu mahitatamam shreyasam bhakti mekam tvadbhaktyanandatulyah khalu vishayajusham sammadah kena vasyat. Those who are very attracted to this path of action of Vaidika karmas, they have a lot of shreyas, great things they attain. Samti shreyamsi bhuyamsi. Bhuyamsi means excellent shreyas. They attain great fulfillment. Many means are there. Ruchi bhidaya karminam nirmitani. According to the ruchi, whatever is whoever's ruchi. Ruchi means adhikara. Whatever one is capable of, whatever one has a samskara for, whatever one is interested in. Karminam nirmitani. Various rishis have created so many granthas for each person. There is the Jaimini Grantha, there is the Patanjala Yoga Sutras, there is the Brahma Sutras by Badarayana. And each rishi has a grantha. Whatever fits you, you can take that path. But most of those paths are santaha, kshudranandaha. They give only limited amount of ananda. And they are all temporary. Sa antaha. Anta means some end. They all have an end somewhere. Bahuvidhagatayaha. They take you to various paths. Let it be for them. For them. I do not want it. Krishtatebhyo bhaveyuhu. Tvancha achakyata. But what do I want? I do not want whatever they said. I want what you said. What did you say to Uddhava? You gave this kind of bhakti yoga to Uddhava, didn't you? Tvancha achakyata sakhe. Sakha here refers to Uddhava. You gave this instruction to Uddhava, nanu mahitatamam shreyasam bhakti mekam. Among all the shreyas, shreyo marga that is there, you gave the upadesha of only bhakti to him. That is the most glorious of all the paths. And that is nothing equivalent in bliss to the bhakti marga of yours. Tvadbhaktyanandatulyaha khalu vishayajusham sammadah kena vasyat. Those who are engrossed in these worldly objects, worldly enjoyments over here, how can they ever experience the joy of bhakti? What do they know about bhakti? They do not know anything about it. Let me be there in that bhakti, because that is what I want. You called that Uddhava was the greatest friend of yours. In the Ekadash Skanda, Bhagavan says, you are my greatest friend. You are so dear to me than any. He recounts many people and then he says, you are dearer to me than Lakshmi herself. Because the devotee who is so close to Bhagavan is non-different from Bhagavan. So he becomes closer than Lakshmi herself. That kind of an Uddhava who was so close to you, who have given this bhakti marga, please give me that kind of a bhakti. Sammadah kena vasyat. Or even in Bhagavad Gita, if we take Sakha to mean Arjuna, in Bhakti Yoga, the 12th Adhyaya, Bhagavan says, this is the greatest. The Bhakti Yoga is the best for everyone. So take it. Yoga Vittamaha. Tesham. Ke Yoga Vittamaha is the question by Arjuna. He says, the Bhakti Marga is the best. Tvad Bhaktya Tushta Buddhehe Sukhamiha Charataha Vichyudashasya Chashaha Sarvasyu Saukhyamayyaha Salila Kuharagasya Toyikamayyaha. Tvad Bhaktya Tushta Buddhehe. One who is happy with your bhakti, one who is joyful, blissful in your bhakti. Sukhamiha charataha vichyutashasya chashaha. and he is happily roaming about in this world because he has no desire. For him, Asha Sarvasyuhu Saukhyamayyaha. If any place that he goes to is full of joy because he has no desire. You see the charita of bhaktas, of devotees. Tyagaraja was completely into Rama. He did not require anything else. Rama took care of whatever was necessary for him. Wherever he went, whoever called him, he is always in the bliss of Rama. So whichever place he goes to, he is in bliss only. The external world doesn't matter to him at all. Hunger doesn't matter, thirst doesn't matter. Vivataha achyuta piyusham. When we are drinking the nectar of the Lord, these will not matter. That is the kind of bhakti Bhattatri is praying for. Sarvasyu saukhyamayyaha. But Bhagavan will take care of whatever is necessary materially. But every place becomes Ananda Sandra for him. How can there be any distress at all? How can there be sorrow in that case? Because every place is filled with you, and I desire only you. I cannot see anything but you. Sarvasyuhu saukhyamayyaha. How? He gives an example. Salila kuharajasyeva tolikamayyaha. A fish or some water, something that lives inside the water, it sees water everywhere. Water is filled within it, outside it. Wherever it goes, there is only water. Similarly, if I have bhakti, wherever I go, there is only bhakti. There is nothing other than bhakti, because I am always in satsanga also. So there is only Bhagavan everywhere. How can I ever go out of that? Whatever I see is Bhagavan. The whole creation is Bhagavan. How can I ever be unhappy? Wherever you put me, I am that person, that bhakta will always be happy. Soyam khal indralokam kamalaja bhavanam yoga siddhis cha hrityaha nakangshatyetadastam swayamanupatite moksha saukhyepyaniham. Whether it be Indraloka, the heavens, or even Satyaloka, Brahmaloka, Kamalaja Bhavanam, Kamalaja refers to Brahma, even if it be the house of Brahma, or it be this 8 yoga siddhis that are there, various yoga siddhi that might come, he does not desire for anything. Na akamshati etadastam, let all be. How does it matter? Swayamanupatite moksha saukhyepyaniha. Moksha saukhya is also not necessary for him. Even liberation he does not go after. You see it in Hanuman. Hanuman was so filled with bhakti. When Ramachandra Prabhu took everybody in Ayodhya to Vaikuntha, Hanuman said, this Ramachandra Prabhu is there everywhere. Rama Katha is there. That bhakti is enough for me. For him, that devotion, that joy is far more than anything else. Wherever there is Rama Katha, there is Hanuman. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam tatra tatra krita mastakanjali. He is standing there with folded arms and bowed head, with tears flowing down his eyes. That is the devotion. That is called devotion. With prema comes that tenderness of heart. And tears of joy flow down. You cannot stop it. They are overwhelming. The infinite. This ego is just getting vanished in that devotion. There is no ego. There is no body. There is no unnecessary constraints. And you become one with the infinite, then how can joy not be there? And that joy expresses itself in this physical body as tears. You cry for Bhagavan out of joy. That also reflects in Toyikamayyaha Moksha Saukhyepyaniha. We see so many other bhaktas, Alvars and Nayanmars who sing, I don't want another Janma, but if at all there is another Janma, I do not mind it as far as I have bhakti towards you.
Give me Janma again and again, but in every Janma, give me bhakti towards you. How many devotees have not sung like this? Give me 100,000 Janmas, but let me always be devoted to your feet. This is how the Mahatmas have sung. Moksha Saukhyepyaniha. We need a taste of that bhakti. All of us have that emotion within inside us. We are all able to love to a certain extent, but all the love in the world is conditioned upon something. There is an extent to which you can love. That unconditional love can only be for the infinite. And that Atma is the only one that is infinite. He is Atma Swarupa, he is Satchidananda Swarupa. He is a dense consciousness, that is the only thing you can love without any limitations. त्वद्भक्तो बाध्यमानोऽपि च विषयरसैः इन्द्रिया शान्तिहेतोः भक्तिवाक्रम्यमाणैः पुनरपि खलु तैः दुर्बलैः नाभिजय्यः. A bhakta, even if he does not have all his sense organs fully under his control, they throw up hurdles every now and then. Badhyamanaha. Every now and then they come and throw a hurdle, they attract it towards something, whatever they like. These Indriyas pull, each one is a horse. They pull the chariot wherever they want. So sometimes this devotee is caught by these sense pleasures. He's just captured, he's ensnared by them. Akramyamanihi. Because all these Indriyas are ashanta, they're never peaceful. They're always looking for something to do. But this bhakti is far more powerful than them. They cannot win over him. The senses cannot win over bhakti. They are all durbala. They are weak forces. The Indriyas are weak forces in front of bhakti, which is a strong force, which can overpower all of them. So just keep constantly at bhakti and it will naturally, it itself will overpower the horses of the senses. The sense horses can be conquered by bhakti. The devotion is just an onslaught. And the senses are just too weak to bear that onslaught. Saptarchihi, Lipitarchihi, Dahati Kilayatha, Bhuri Daru Prapancham, Tadbhaktyoge Tathiva, Pradahati Duridam Durmadah Pindayanam. The Agni, fire is called Saptarchihi. When he becomes lit, when he is burning, Deepitarchi, Dhatikilagata, Bhuri Daru Prapancham. There is a dried forest. The way a fire engulfs that dried forest, one spark of fire can slowly grow and it just burns everything, incinerates everything into ashes. Like that, this bhakti ogha that is there, this deluge of devotion that is there, it just overpowers everything. Duritam, Durmadaha, all the sins that he has committed. Durmadah, Kvendriyana, where is the power for these Indriyas to stand in front of them? The evil influence of these Indriyas cannot stand the deluge of bhakti, cannot stand the deluge of devotion, because it just burns away all these sinful tendencies. Tadbhaktyoge tathaiva pradahati duritam durmadaha kvendriyanam chittadri bhavamuchaihi vapushija pulakam harshabashpancha hitva chittam shuddhyet katham va kimu bahutapasa vidyaya vita bhaktehe. Without bhakti, everything else is not filled with any rasa. Rasa is again difficult to translate. It is something that gives joy and something that gives something an attraction, that fills something with goodness. Tadgatha swada siddhanjana satatamari vrijyamano yamatma chakshurvat tattva sukshmam bhajati natu tatha abhyastaya tarka kotya. if one cannot wet his heart by devotion, chittardri bhavam, babushi pulakam, his hair should stand on the end in devotion. When that bhakti overpowers, when you stand in front of the Lord, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stands in front of Jagannatha in Puri, he catches hold of a pillar and his hairs are standing on the end and tears are flowing from his eyes. Harisha Bashpancha Hitva. That Lord of the world is standing in front of you, Jagannatha, and you are standing in front. How will you not feel? How can that devotion not come inside? Chittam shuddhet kathamba kimu bahutapasa vidyaya vita bhaktehe. Just by dry austerity and penance, or just by rote learning, without any bhakti, will this be of any use? Will tarka be of any use? All this logic that you might use, abhyastaya, tarka kotya, countless number of arguments and logic you can use. You might be a greatest of logicians. It's all just dry intellectual words, nothing else. If they cannot be wetted by bhakti, there is no chitta shuddhi. The chitta shuddhi is realized when you can shed tears for Bhagavan. Tvad-gatha-swada siddhanjana sadata mari mrijyamano yam atma chakshurvat tattva sukshmam. The mind is purified by this constant application of bhakti, just by constant application of collyrium on the eyes. So this is a legend where you apply collyrium to the eyes, you start seeing things of a subtler forms. The eye becomes more finer, it is able to see better things. Like that, the mind is purified by the constant application of the collyrium of bhakti. By imbibing your narrations, gatha aswada, by singing your glories, it is able to know the subtle truth. Just by reading some texts or by logic, this is not known. That bhakti has to be there along with that. Only then it can be known. Without bhakti, all this vidya or rote learning, nothing is going to help. Dhyanante shilayeyam samatanu sukha baddhasano nasika jita bhavana pathaha chitta padmam tvavancham urdhvagram bhavagitva ravividhushikhinah sambhijintyoparishtate tatrastham bhavaye tvam sajala jaladhara shyamanam komalangam. Now, Bhattatri explains some dhyana yoga along with bhakti. The 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, dhyana yoga is explained. It is the same riti of the Ashtanga yoga of Patanjali. So he said yoga is not useful. But what did he say? What did he mean? He meant yoga without any bhakti, just as it is, without the end goal in mind, is not useful. How do you use yoga for bhakti? How can I use the same Ashtanga yoga for bhakti? He delineates, just as in the 6th chapter and in Bhagavata also. In Bhagavata 11th skandha is there in the 14th adhyaya. Dhyanam te shilayeyam. So let me practice this meditation. Let me become my character. This meditating upon your form should become my character. Samatanu sukha baddhasana. I should be in sukhasana, comfortable posture. Or sukhasana means the cross-legged posture that I am in. And my eyes should be nasikagram nyastakshaha, towards the tip of my nose, gazing at the tip of my nose. There is a debate if the tip of the nose is this or this. Both are tip. So some of them, while meditating, if you close your eyes, your and you try to meditate, the eyes naturally go toward this point, or it might be at this point. So whichever it naturally goes to. So the tip of the nose, your gaze is at the tip of the nose. Nyastakshaha purakadjihi jitamapanapathaha. So that pranayama is the next thing. So you win over that prana by doing pranayama. What is this puraka? Puraka is taking the prana inside and keeping it inside is called puraka. Inhaling the breath is called as puraka. Holding the breath inside once you have inhaled is called as kumbhaka. And leaving the breath, exhaling the breath is called rechaka. Puraka, kumbhaka and rechaka. That's why he says purakadjihi, puraka, etc. Puraka and other things. With these three, I will win over the pranas. Purakadjihi jitapavanamathaha. So this prana vidya is extremely important. This prana is the energy of the body, the energy body within us. If we are able to keep the flow of energy in a disciplined manner within the body, our mind becomes more focused. It is easier, far easier to focus the mind. That is why before any japa, there will be a pranayama. That is so that your mind gets into focus. The first is the physical, sukhasana, an asana which you are comfortable. So that is for the physical body. Next is the pranayama for the pranic sharira, the pranamaya kosha. When you get these two in a certain discipline, then the manomaya kosha, that mind naturally focuses itself. It's easier to get the mind to one singular position, and therefore the intellect is able to stay focused on that point. Chitta padmam tvavancham. So chitta padma, the chitta, the heart, is imagined to be a lotus, and avancham is the downward lotus. So in the meditation, that is how we imagine that heart to be a downward lotus. This is not just some imagination also. It is a truth in the higher planes as we go forward in meditation. But we begin with that kind of an imagination. Chitta padmam tvavancham. The heart lotus is facing downwards. Urdhvagram bhavagitva. And upward facing. Also upward facing, you see there is a sun. Ravi vidhu shikhinaha. The sun is there, then the moon, then the fire above it. Ravi is sun, vidhu is Chandra, moon, and then shikhini. Shikhin is Agni. So these three, one on top of the other, upward facing. There, what do I see? Samvichintyo parishtate tatrastham bhavagetvam. There I see you in your dark form. Sajala jaladhara shyamalam. As dark as a cloud filled with water. Kumalangam. That beautiful form of yours, the tender, soft form of yours, I concentrate upon that. Let me do dhyana there. In the Ashtanga Yoga, there is yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara, and then dharana. That is the dharana he is coming to here. I do that dharana upon this beautiful form of yours. That dharana is where you keep the mind focused. You put in the effort to keep the mind focused. Then naturally the mind delves into that form. The mind becomes one with that form. Very easily it gets into that meditation. That is called as dhyana. Anila shlakshakesham dvalita makara satkundalam mandahasasyandaardram kaustubhashri parigata vanamaloru harabhiramam Shivatsankam subaham mridula sadugaram kanchanachaya chelam charus nigdhorumam bhoruhadalita padam bhavayeham bhavantam. The form of the Lord is explained just as Kapila explains in the Kapila Gita. In the Ekadaskanda, it is given in a very short manner. The Kapila explains it in a detailed manner. And even Narada explains a similar form to the young boy Dhruva. So on that form, which is having a dark, dark blue, and there is beautiful hair, charming. The hair itself is so charming. Anila Shlakshna Kesham. The hair itself is so dark and charming. Jwalita Makarasat Kundalam. And the earrings that are there, which are fish-shaped earring, and the gentle smile, which is the form of bliss itself, mandahasa sendardram, and it is just wetting everything with the flow of compassion from that smile. And Harabhiramam, wearing the garlands of flowers that are there in pearl necklaces. That Kaustubha that is there on his heart, all these garlands are shining because of them. The Kaustubha is giving them light and they are reflecting everything. So they are shining in the glow of the Kaustubha. There is the Srivatsa Anka, the mark of Srivatsa on your chest, and beautiful supple arms on both sides, a soft abdomen that you have, and the yellow silk cloth that you're wearing before, which is seeming like glittering like gold, and those charming and fleshy thighs, and your feet, which are like tender lotus. I am just concentrating on this. Let me meditate upon this. Let my dhyana be there. The dhyana should happen naturally. Dhyana just goes into that. Sarvange shvanga ranga kutukamiti muhurdharayannisha chittam tatra pyekatrayunje vadana sarasije sundare mandahase. Among all these parts of the body that is there, sarvangeshu anga, there is with more zeal, with more devotion, kutukamiti muhurdharayan. I will concentrate on one singular point. Which is that singular point? Your face. Vadana sarasije sundare mandahase. That mandahasa of yours, that gentle smile of yours, it represents the ananda aspect of Brahman, of the Satchidananda. It is the ananda aspect. Mandahase. So there I will put all my concentration towards that place. Tatralinam tu chetaha. Once my mind becomes one with that, it just becomes absorbed in that ananda. It just becomes absorbed in your smile, that gentle smile on your face. Parama sukhachid advaita rupe. Where does it become one with? It becomes one with that parama sukha, that paramananda of that advaita rupa. Vitanman anyanno chintayeyam muhuriti samuparudha yogo bhaveyam. So from dhyana, he goes to samadhi. There is nothing else to think of. Anyanno chintayeyam. I do not think of anything else. There is no other thought, because there is no thinker, there is no thought, there is no action of thinking. All that is there is Bhagavat Swarupa only. That beautiful form of yours is the only one that is there. It is not that I am thinking of that beautiful form. Only that beautiful form exists. Only that Advaita Rupa exists. Only that Parama Sukha Rupa exists. Samuparudha Yogo Bhaveyam. I reach that advanced state of yoga. What is the aim of yoga? Along with bhakti, it is for that samadhi. It is to attain that union with Brahman. Let me become like that. Dhyana yoge sati punaranityadayo vihyamahanikaya sambate yormurare. If like this I practice the Ashtanga yoga, on this path of dhyana yoga, if I go, then all those Ashtasiddhis will come rushing towards me. They will say, I am first, and come. Ahamahanikaya. Durashrutyadayaha api. Durashruti means you can sit here and listen to something that is happening elsewhere. Today we call it telephone. Durashrutyadayaha. Just by mind you can listen to anybody's thought or anybody speaking anywhere. Durashrutyadayaha. Anima Dhyashtasiddhayaha. There are 8 siddhis called Anima, Garima, Lakshmi, Mahima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitvam and Vashitvam. These are the 8 siddhis that are there. All those 8 siddhis one will get. And how will they come? They will say, I will come first, and they will come and attain this person. But I do not want any of them. Anima means making the body very small. So we see Hanuman had all these 8 siddhis. That is why in Hanuman Chalisa we say, Ashta Siddhi Navanithike Data. He can grant you all the 8 siddhis. If you make your body very small, it is called Anima. Mahima is making the body very big, extremely huge. Then there is Laghima, making it very light, such that the wind itself can go away like a feather. That is Laghima. Then is Garima. We see it in Trinavartavadha. where Bhagavan becomes so heavy that the Asura is not able to carry him. That is Garima, making herself extremely heavy. Then Prapti, just by thinking about a place, you reach there. By thought alone, you can reach that place. Then Prakamyam. Prakamyam is whatever desire you have, you attain that desire. Prakamyam. Ishitvam. Ishitvam, you have control over somebody else. You gain control. Whatever you say, they will follow. That is Ishitvam. And Vashitvam is being free from all worldly desires. All those 8 siddhis, they come to us without any effort. If we take this path, Sampadeyur Murari, they come and fall. Sampadeyur Murariyam, Tvat Samprapto Vilambavaham Akhilamidam Nadriye Kamayeham. But the problem is, all these will delay me in attaining you. They will cause a delay in me attaining union with you. Vilambavaham Akhilamidam. Because you might get attracted towards this while doing this yoga. If all these 8 siddhis come, then you start using that siddhi. Why I'm going to do something good to the world. And people get attracted to you. And you start showing your superpowers. It goes in a very different direction. It takes you away from the goal altogether. So, Tvat Samprapto Vilambavaham Akhilamidam. All these things, Nadriye. I don't respect them at all. I don't want them. Kamayeham Tvameva. All I desire is only you. The goal should always be there. You see, all the jnanis, they have these siddhis. You will read the Charita of Mahatmas, you will find these kind of stories that are coming out a lot. Because people remember such magical circumstances. Where you go to a Mahatma, you have a problem, they're able to get to the cause immediately. They will tell you a solution. You go here, you do this, you will get it. Or you will find this somewhere else. Or you might immediately get some wealth if that is necessary. Whatever you desire, that might immediately happen. It is not, they are not using their siddhi. It naturally comes to them. They are not using it for their own self. They are not using it to show off their powers. It naturally comes. You see Kanchi Paramacharya. You see Chandrasekhara Bharati. You see Ramana Maharshi. You see Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. All the jnanis, you will find extraordinary stories. That is not where the Mahatmya of the Mahatma lies. The Mahatma's Mahatmya lies that he does not use those siddhis in whatever manner he likes. Those siddhis come themselves whenever is necessary to bless a devotee. Because the devotee is in need of that. They do not show the siddhi. All they want is only Bhagavan. Ramakrishna wept only for Kali. Ramana was always in the bliss of Arunachala. If he shed tears, it was only for that Arunachala which was in the form of the mountain. So there, they want only Bhagavan, nothing else. Kamayeham Tvameva Anandapurnam, full of bliss. Pavanapurabate Pahimam Sarvatapat. So protect me from all this tapa, this burning in this world. Each desire is burning us. It is when fire burns you, it leaves a mark upon your body. Like that, each desire is leaving a mark upon you. It's called as samskara. So eradicate all these sarva tapan. Oh Pavanapurabate, eradicate all these desires. Eradicate my physical ailments. Give me bhakti towards you. Dradhaya, bhaktim dradhaya haragadana. Give me that immense bhakti towards you. Requests Bhattatri again and again. Maybe also request the same from Bhagavan and maybe have this gush of devotion, that deluge of devotion within us. And we surrender ourselves completely towards Him as He instructs us. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Ekam sharanam vraja. Nowhere else there should be a support. That immense devotion should come. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. In all manners, in all ways possible, take surrender to Him. Surrender to Him. That is the devotion we are towards. We want, desire that kind of devotion. Desire only Him and nothing else. May we be granted such a devotion. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Hara Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva Janaki Kanta Smaranam Jaya Jaya Rama Rama Sadguru Swaminaha Jai. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva to navachim mama kinchidasti yatha tava yashtam gurumam tathaiva tvamatmanatham ramanam.